What's up, guys? How we doing? How we doing? Live mock draft discussion. We got everything, guys. We're gonna be talking about everything related to the 2023 NFL Draft. We are less than actually no, we're still a little over 24 hours. However, we're here, guys. So I want to hear everybody's thoughts, input on everything. It's going to take a little bit of time to, your audio is messed up. My audio is messed up. Hold on here. All right, hold on. Your mic sounds a bit funny. Let me see what I can do to fix that. Hold on. All right, it's doubled. Okay, sure. Is this better? I apologize, guys. Is this better? How many viewers are there right now? I think we have 15. Not sure. Is this better? Perfect. Let's go, guys. Let's go. Gadiel, always seeing you comment, brother. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you guys can see, I'm kind of like looking off to the left. I have the screen right here, as you can probably see, and then I have like the comments and everything right here. So I can, I have, comment access, of course, reading all the guys' comments. And, but no, Gadiel, I see you comment every video. Appreciate it. So, let's go, guys. I'm going to share this on Twitter quickly. I'm not going to be on my phone the whole time and be like, oh, well, he's on his phone. No, I'm not. I'm just going to share this quickly to Twitter and to the group Discord. So, guys, I do want to. We're also going to be doing mock drafts within this. So, let me know any hot takes you guys have. I'm always eager to hear any hot takes. And I will say about this draft specifically, guys, is nobody knows anything past Bryce Young, which, I mean, everybody knows Bryce Young is essentially a Carolina Panther, but that whole Will Levis Reddit post was hilarious. But nobody knows anything past that. So, Kenny, appreciate it. We are going to, like I said, I'm just sharing this on Twitter now that we are live on YouTube for pre-draft discussion. So, guys, please drop your hot takes. Somebody said this is my fave YouTube channel. Joey, appreciate it, brother. So, live on YouTube for a pre-draft chat. So, drop any hot takes, guys. We're going to be doing a mock draft, so I do think, I don't know how hot of a take this guy, or how hot of a take this is, guys, but I do think Nolan Smith will go in the top 10. Broncos country, let's ride. Darnell Washington is the first tight end off the board. That's what I'm talking about. That's a hot take there. I am going to, by the way, I'm just going to do like a mock draft throughout this. And so I'm going to go and enter the draft now, and I will want your guys' feedback throughout this, if that's all right. So I would definitely like you guys to discuss, and comment who you think is, whenever we're on the clock, whether we trade back or anything. We didn't, by the way, for the Panthers, we didn't trade all of this, to move up to not take Bryce Young or to not take a quarterback. So we're going to go ahead and take Bryce Young, but I am eager to see Gadiel, if that actually happened. I really am sorry about that for you. Lions trade up 1 to draft Anthony Richardson. Okay, well, I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, they'd have to give up pretty much every pick they have over the next couple, or at least this year and next year in the first and second round, just, for Carolina to kind of get fair compensation. But Bryce Young is a Carolina Panther. And like I said, within this, I do want you guys to discuss, who do we think is going number 2? Right now, I personally think it's Will Anderson to the Texans. I want to see the trade opportunities that are here, but who knows? AR falls to the Vikings. I'm actually with you on that. Kurt, I am with you on that. Lions get Gonzalez. You know this, Garrett. Crater, I don't know that. I really don't know that, honestly. I think you guys get a corner. I just don't think it's going to be Christian Gonzalez. Let's keep it rolling here, guys. All right, trailer's fine, car is fine. Good to hear, Gadiel. By the way, Texans, I really think it will be Will Anderson. Diggs says either Will Anderson or C.J. Stroud at 2, probably Anderson. Yeah, I got to be honest. I think if the Texans were all in on... if they were all in on CJ, I think they would have kind of let everybody know. The Will Levis thing at 2 was always hilarious to me. So I don't think CJ Stroud's going to be a Texan. I think there's actually a better chance that they trade up to like pick 8 or pick 9 or wherever, just somewhere to trade up rather than them drafting CJ Stroud at 2. Bill takes Brian Branch in the most Patriots move of the decade. I like that. I think Levis falls to 12. Stroud is a Texan, says Crater. Let's see. This pick right here, by the way, guys. I mean, everybody on the planet knows the Cardinals want to trade out. Like, their roster is not good. So, right here, the first option we have is to trade to the Raiders at 7. I'm surprised that the Titans are not interested here. They've been linked throughout the process that the Titans want to move up. So I would see if we could get a 2024 1. Obviously, I would ask for this, but we would ask for the 2 1s, and it was accepted. Okay, I was not expecting that for the live mock draft. This is also just a pre-draft chat. So if anybody wants to, like I said, like we have a lot of takes right now. Anyone not as high on Will Levis, I just don't see how he's a top 15 pick. So I get the first round. I'm with you. I don't think he's a top 15 pick either, especially given that he's going to be 24 at the start of the season, and there's a lot of concerns with Levis. Age is not the only concern. I did a whole video on Will Levis, and there's a lot of concerns. There's plays where he makes that's like, top 5 or 6 in the NFL where there's simply not a lot of guys that can make that play, and he will follow it up with, I'm not exaggerating, just something equally just as dumb. And it's just like, Will, like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? Anyway, so this trade was accepted, by the way, for the Raiders. And we're kind of just doing a mock draft kind of like with this. So I think if they are giving up 2 1s, I think this would be to go up and get Anthony Richardson. That's kind of where I stand on that. What do you guys think? Do I think Bijan at 10 for the Eagles is a possibility or a smokescreen? I think Bijan, by the way, we're going to go ahead and take Anthony Richardson to the Raiders here. But no, I think Bijan to the Eagles at 10 is, I like it. And in fact, I did a little bit of a mock draft today, or not a mock draft, but like the first 10 picks, and for a different assignment entirely. And I had Bijan going number 10 to the Eagles. So Minnesota trades 4 1s to Arizona to draft William Levis. Kenny, I love the big smiley face. Unfortunately for you, that's not going to happen. Anyway, Indy is up. 2 quarterbacks already gone, and we are going to give them CJ Stroud. And I think in the best case for Indy tomorrow night, if this is indeed how it plays out, I think CJ Stroud becoming a Colt is a hell of a lot better than Will Levis becoming a Colt. So if Will Levis becomes a Colt tomorrow, man, I am worried for Indy's future. That's not what I would want to have as a first-year head coach for Shane Steichen. I would very, very much worry on that one here. Let's see here. What's up, Nettie? How we doing? Let's see. I personally like JSN at 10, so that's been picking up some steam. By the way, we're going to go ahead and make this pick here for Seattle, and they should very much go Jalen Carter. They're also picking at pick 20. They have as risk-free of a top 5 selection. And you guys, if you guys have watched the channel, you guys know that I've said that before for Seattle and Detroit both, that they each have a very, very risk-free selection, considering they each have a pick later in the first round, 18 for Detroit and 20 for Seattle. So I think Seattle, if Jalen's there, you have to take that risk. So especially if Anthony Richardson's gone, I would not want them to take Will Levis. But Geno is on a 1-year deal. So I would prefer Seattle to get Jalen Carter in this scenario. All right, let's see here. Let's see. Who do I think is desperate enough to select Levis? Man, I got to be honest. If the board plays out like this, I think Houston would maybe try and trade up to 7. I know we just traded back with Arizona, but Arizona's roster is so bad, man. I don't think Minnesota would come up to get Will Levis. There's been a lot of smoke around Minnesota coming up as high as 3 to try and go up and get Anthony Richardson, but as a Vikings fan myself, you guys can probably see the Jefferson jersey behind me. I would be so pissed. I would be pissed, upset, the whole thing if we traded up to 3 and we traded 3 first-round picks to get Will Levis. So, Will Levis, I think, back half of the top 10, and even then, it's, I don't know who's going to trade up. I think 12 is as far as Will Levis goes with pick 12. Let's keep it going here. Let's keep it going. Who do I think Carolina takes, John? I think it's pretty simple. I think this pick is already made. I think Bryce already knows he is going to be a Carolina Panther. All right, let's see here. Houston could work, says Gary. What do I use to edit? Adobe Premiere Pro. CB or wide receiver for Baltimore at 22 or best player available? So Diggs report, good question. Personally, I have the Ravens. Well, We'll see how this mock plays out. Personally, right now, by the way, we're going Devin Witherspoon to the Detroit Lions. We're going to see if Houston wants to trade up. Okay, so Houston does not want to trade up. Somebody asked, could somebody trade up for Will Levis? And I don't really understand why the Commanders are not interested in trading up for a quarterback. I think it's extremely ballsy to have one game of NFL tape for Sam Howell in a game. Let's see here. I want to see what happens. Hold on, I just hit a button here. I don't even know what's about to happen. I just hit a button. Anyway, never mind. We're good. No. So they have one game for Sam Howell, and all of a sudden, yeah, we're going to roll with him entirely. And if he doesn't work out, oh, we're good because we have Jacoby Brissett. We have years upon years of evidence that Jacoby Brissett is not going to, be the guy. He's not going to be a Super Bowl winning quarterback. And if a player that started one game doesn't work out, all of a sudden it's just, our 2023 season's in the gutter. I don't get it. I really don't get it with Washington. Let's see here. Clearly they see something in Howe, or Ron Rivera is nuts. Yeah, no, he's definitely nuts, man. He's definitely nuts. Do I think D-Hop goes to the Bills? I really have no idea where he's going, because this right now is like, hold on, let me make this pick for Arizona. I think in this scenario, I would love for them to go Peter Skoronski. Unfortunately, I think he's a guard at the next level for Arizona. I think this pick would be Christian Gonzalez. I think they just need good football players, and they picked up 2 first-round picks by trading back from 3 to 7. So anyway, so D-Hop, I think this deal would have already been done if Arizona, if they already were offered what they wanted. I think they wanted 2, and nobody's offered it to. I think they're offering, a 3 or a 4 or whatever the case may be. I don't know where D-Hop's going to go. I've thought the whole time that it would be Buffalo or Kansas City, maybe even Baltimore. Of course, the cap in that space or in that sense is kind of a myth, because you can work everything around. Somebody said crunchy or creamy peanut butter. Personally, I'm a creamy guy. Let's see here. NFL commentary. Do you think... never mind. Taco, DM me on Twitter, by the way. DM me on Twitter, and I promise I'll answer any questions. Let's see. Evan, what are we upset about? What are we upset about here? Evan said, bro. Okay, you're talking about the Lions pick. No, I like Devin Witherspoon better to Detroit than I do Arizona, personally. Obviously, you guys disagree. This might be the spiciest take that I have here, though, guys. And I think that Nolan Smith will be an Atlanta Falcon. I think he goes top 10. Do I get JSN for the Falcons to see if Desmond is ready? So, Reggie, I'm sorry that you actually typed that whole thing out right before that I picked Nolan Smith. I wouldn't hate the pick personally, but Atlanta's defense is bad. It's been bad for years, and they need just a good pass rusher. I think Nolan is the best one on the board in that scenario. Actually, I might have messed that up. Oh, I actually messed that up big time because the board wasn't updated. Oh, I meant to pick Tyree Wilson. I apologize, guys, so much. I meant to go. I'm so used to having Tyree Wilson gone at this point. Yeah, I'm at 9 and Tyree is on the board. Kenny, I'm glad that you called me out on that, because I made the pick and I had it ready in my head. I can't undo that pick. Otherwise, Tyree Wilson would be... I'm so used to, seeing him up at the top, and I forgot. So that pick would have been Tyree Wilson. I apologize for that. I'm just so used to having him gone. Anyway... We're going to power through here. I still think Paris Johnson will be... I still think he'll be a Chicago Bear, and in this scenario, with the board playing out like this, it would be between Bijan at 10, or in reality, it would be Nolan Smith, because Tyree Wilson should have been an Atlanta Falcon. You know what, I might actually go back and restart real quick. You're only 9 picks in. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to go ahead and restart here. Just refresh, reload. That's on me, guys. Full responsibility. I apologize. That's on me. We're going to go ahead, start the draft. The only thing that might not work, we're going to go Bryce. We're going to go Will Anderson. The only thing, do we have the Raiders at 7? Okay, so we do not have the Raiders at 7. I'm just going to force the trade that was. So we're going to go 7 and this, and we're going to force this. All right, so it was another one. Let me go ahead and get this back here, guys. Anthony Richardson. All right, and then C.J. Stroud went to the Colts. Jalen Carter went to the Seahawks. Devin Witherspoon went to the Lions. And I know a couple Lions fans in here are probably like, oh, it's fine. You can give us Christian Gonzalez this time through. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and make Tyree Wilson a Falcon. And that didn't change what was going to happen at 9 because I still think Paris Johnson is going to go to the Bears no matter what. There's Crater. Fix the Lions pick. I knew that was happening. Love your content, King K1. Appreciate it. Why does PFF have Tyree so low? And so the reason for that is recently they're like, and I don't want to get too much into this talking about someone else, but basically what I've heard, and I don't know how 100% accurate this is, but supposedly the PFF simulation that we're doing here, supposedly it was like all of Mike Renner's big board, and then Mike Renner announced last week that he was leaving PFF, and apparently like it updated to the consensus of what everyone at PFF thinks, and that's why like I guess they're a little lower on Tyree Wilson than Mike Renner was. Personally, I think Tyree Wilson is a top 10 prospect. I don't know why he was all the way at 28, but that's why. Anyway, chat, where do we think Philly goes with this pick? The options are Bijan Robinson or Jackson Smith-Njigba. Trey says, fly, Eagles, fly. Yo, what's up, James? How we doing? But the options are going to be probably Bijan or JSN, and Will Levis will fall out of the top 10. Fieldhawk says Bijan. Cios, I'm with you right there, by the way. I'm actually 100% with you guys. A lot of people are saying Peter Skoronski. I'm actually with you guys. Philly gets Nolan Smith, Joey Fears. A lot of people commenting Nolan. Bijan, because they already have Devontae, trade back with Tampa for 2020, or for 19. Can they even trade back? Does Tampa want to trade up? I don't. So, that's actually, so Zeph with a, hell of an idea there to trade up and get a 2024 first from Tampa, because there's a very good chance that that pick could be, a top 5 pick next year. So, I like where you're thinking. Ultimately, guys, if Peter Skoronski is staring them right in the face, you know what? It's my mock draft. We're doing Bijan. Bijan to the Eagles is so fun. Like, and Peter Skoronski to the Titans makes a lot of sense. But no, I mean, guys, Bijan in that offense, it's very much going to be like, okay, like we have Jalen Hurts, we have Bijan Robinson running right at you. Good luck in trying to stop us. And if you want to sell out and put 7 or 8 in the box, okay, we have A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith. Oh, and by the way, we also have Dallas Goedert, who I want to confirm this actually before I say this. He's a very, very good tight end. The Super Bowl, the second half of the Super Bowl, Dallas was balling out. I want to confirm something before I say this, but I just want to confirm whether or not he's made the Pro Bowl. I feel like, okay, he never made the Pro Bowl. I thought he would have after this year, but obviously he was playing in the Super Bowl. The point is, if you want to have 8 in the box against Jalen and Bijan and against that offensive line, good luck. Good luck. Just genuinely good luck to anybody against the Philadelphia Eagles. Let Bijan cook in Philly. I heard the Eagles are making a late push for JSN. I have also heard that. Will Levis, because the Texans need a quarterback. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot, actually. If Will Levis falls to 12, I like that a lot. So now we have all 4 quarterbacks gone by pick 12. Here's the draft so far. Goddard makes the Pro Bowl if he doesn't get injured for nearly half the season. Let's see, Will Levis. Will Levis was indeed the pick. And guys, I think this mock draft's actually working out pretty well for everyone. Jackson Smith-Njigba goes to the Packers. Excuse me. I'm sorry about that. Jackson Smith-Njigba goes to the Packers. They finally spend a first-round pick. What's up, Core? How we doing? Packers draft Zay Flowers to put in the slot with already having 2 potential deep threats. Wild hot take. Yeah, I don't think they would take Zay Flowers if JSN is there. I love Zay Flowers. He's my second receiver in the draft. I love Zay Flowers. So if Houston doesn't get Bryce, they ain't going to take Will Levis. They're not going to get Bryce, unfortunately. Winning that game against the Colts kind of set them out of that. Kancey to the Packers would be very Packers. So, Evan, actually, in that regard, I actually think, where is he here? There he is. I actually think Lucas Van Ness would be more Packers than I think Elijah Kancey would be here. Let's see, all of our NFC North rivals get mocked, all my favorite players. Yeah, it's going to be a bad year as a Vikings fan because there's going to be a lot of great prospects going to rivals here. All right, anyway, the Patriots are on the clock, and it's pretty simple, guys. We got to get Mac help. Now, I don't know if this is a spicy take to you guys. I think Darnell Wright is better than Broderick Jones. I think Bill would prefer Darnell Wright to Broderick Jones. One way or another, they have to go quarterback. I want to know what you guys think, but one of these guys are certainly going to be the pick. Eric just joined. Did I talk about the possibility of the Eagles taking Nolan Smith? I did. I talked about them taking Bijan, Peter Skoronski, JSN, and Nolan. Those were the final 4 guys, and I'm going to be honest with you, Eric. I kind of was just like, all right, like, it's my mock. I kind of want this to be fun in a way. And also, it's also could be realistic because there's a lot of talk about Bijan going to the Eagles at 10. But ultimately, the thought process was Jalen, Bijan, good luck. Just good luck behind that offensive line. I think Darnell is more safe than Jones. I agree. Let's see here. It's not others have Wright higher. Okay, Darnell Wright to the Patriots. We're pretty cool with that. All right, let's keep it going here, guys. Got you. Thanks for answering. Of course, no problem, brother. No problem. Jets are on the clock. And in this scenario, oh, dude, I didn't even think about this. Because I'm so used to, like, mocking a couple things that I didn't really look into the Steelers trading up to, like, pick 8. Although I don't think they would have in this scenario because I don't think the Falcons with Tyree Wilson on the board, I don't think the Falcons would have even been answering the phones with Tyree there. The Bears certainly would have with Paris there. I don't think the Steelers were interested in trading up when we were on the clock with Philly. Anyway, all of this to say the Jets are taking Broderick Jones at 15. And we'll get to the Steelers, obviously, in a minute here. So, like, look, with the Commanders, love Cody Mauch. I do not love Cody Mauch in the first round. Anyway, I'm assuming you didn't mean Cody Mauch in the first round, Evan. I'm hoping you didn't mean that. But no, I like Cody Mauch as a good day 2 prospect. But the Commanders are up, and what we've said all throughout the draft process is... Oh, wait, there's Johnny. Let's see here. Chances Packers reach on a tight end at 13 considering their awful depth at the position. If so I don't think that's, like, I think there's a chance they do that, and I wouldn't think it's a reach if they get Kincaid. Kincaid definitely shows flashes of Travis Kelce in his game. Flashes are, of course, different than being the next Travis Kelce because I'm not going to project any draft prospect to be a future Hall of Fame tight end. Just more so to say there's flashes there. But no, anyway, John, to answer that question, if JSN is not there, I would actually like Dalton Kincaid going to the Packers. Let's keep it going here. Commanders should take Banks. Actually, I disagree. I think they should take Joey Porter. PFF has them 3 spots. 3-spot difference, but there's no doubt it's Deontay or Joey Porter is the pick here for Washington. So let me know. I want you guys to comment, like, what you guys think the pick should be here. Oh, I got you, Evan. Good call. Justin General, good call. Bryce Young will be the smallest quarterback in the league. No way he goes number 1. He will fall. That's a spot. I just read that, like, I saw somebody say, Hank, what are you on? Like, lower comment, and then I scrolled up, just read a comment, and I didn't realize I was reading Hank's comment. So, anyway, Hank, brother, Bryce Young is the pick. It's all but been announced here. Joey better than Banks. Porter, so Steelers can take Banks. Well, the Steelers are either going to take a corner or they're going to take Anton Harrison, Jarrell. Let's see, I see a couple Joey, I see a couple Deontay. Joey Porter will probably be picked first. All right, Joey Porter, you are a Washington Commander. I mean, you have to think about who they have to stop in that division. Like, 6 times, or well, we'll just say 4 times for now. 4 times a year, you're going up against CeeDee Lamb, A.J. Brown, and Devonta Smith. That's a quarter of your schedule. Good. I mean, that's a quarter right there. And then, I mean, we have a pick coming up in 8 spots. That could very easily be a receiver with the New York Giants. So, amazing content this far. Love your content. Appreciate it, Lalo and Jarrell. Appreciate it, guys. It really, really means the world. Patriots getting Bijan. Unfortunately, I do not think he will be there. Cerberus, how we doing? Patron, appreciate you being in here, man. Let's see. Steelers are up, guys. There's 2 choices here. A pipe dream would actually be Nolan Smith, to have Nolan Smith, Alex Highsmith, and TJ Watt. We're not going to do that, but that's really, really fun to think about, and even adding Kalijah Kancey in there is also really fun to think about. But look, we need to protect Kenny Pickett. So we have a choice here between Anton Harrison, and we have a choice between, where was he? There he is, Deontay Banks. So I want to know what you guys think here, Deontay Banks or Anton Harrison. These are the picks. Will they come up back-to-back? They will. Okay, so these are the choices here. It is Deontay or Anton Harrison. And these are the choices here. Joey's saying Banks, Patriots taking Hendon Hooker. I do not buy that for a minute. Patriots need Zay. Steelers got to go O-line, in my opinion. I agree 100%. Reggie also says Harrison. Jarrell says Banks. Not sold on Harrison as a first rounder. Okay, I think that's a spicy take, Joey. Harrison just because I don't want to see Banks in Pittsburgh. Understandable. Harrison, Steelers can pick a corner at 32. I love that logic. I love that logic because once the tackle, you know what? Whoever said that sold that. Hunt, you sold me. You sold me on that one because once the tackle run goes, guys, as we can see, it's going quick. It started 9 through 17. There's 5 picks. So love the logic there, Hunt. You sold me on that one. Zay will be going by 21, if not at 14. Honestly, Jakar, I don't know about that. I really don't know about that. Supposedly, the NFL is very down on the receivers compared to the media. I personally wouldn't have a problem taking Zay Flowers in the top 25 picks, but I don't know. We'll see tomorrow night. Supposedly, the only one that is for sure a, quote-unquote lock in the first round is Jackson Smith-Njigba. So we'll see how that goes. Let's keep it going here. All right, Detroit is back on the clock, guys. We took Devin Witherspoon at pick 6. Oh, man. Guys, I know there's going to be some Lions fans that hate what I'm about to say. I'm just going to be honest. I'm probably going to take Nolan Smith. That's actually going to be the pick. Unless somebody can have, unless somebody pitches an idea here that talks me out of Nolan Smith. But I got to be honest. I would not be opposed to the Lions taking Dalton Kincaid. And I know they just traded TJ Hawkinson, and I know they're, the whole thing of, tight end in the first round, especially in that offense, and, I understand where they're coming from. But I would really like Dalton Kincaid here. Ultimately, we are going with Nolan Smith. No Kincaid, says Crater. Okay. Let's see here. Branch, because their safety gambled. Okay. Hank's comments, Hank amuses me, I'm not going to lie here. Let's see, that's a great pick, not for the 4th time. I would like Branch too. All right, guys, here's a question. Where do we go with the Bucs? Because this team needs good football players. This team straight up needs good football players. Tight end is a luxury pick, I would say. I don't disagree with that, Evan, I really don't. But Detroit has 2 more picks in the second round, so they're loaded. BPA, I got Banks, Deonte Banks, anyone but Myles Murphy. Whoa, Cerberus, appreciate that, man. Go get yourself a Walmart frame for that jersey. I got you. I appreciate the super chat, man. I really do. Let's keep it going. Deonte Banks, Cansey, give us Branch. Cortrix is saying give us Branch. Lions going Jack Campbell. I love that in the second round for them. Nick New York has commented Deonte Banks several times. Osiris to the Bucs to protect their next quarterback, whoever that may be. John, I like the thought process there. I really do. Jack is a beast, 100%. Guys, here's the deal, though. I've mocked this a couple of times to the Bucs. I've mocked Brian Branch there. I've mocked Deonte Banks there. We're going to go Deonte Banks. Where I think corner is more of a need for this team than I do kind of nickel corner with Brian Branch. I think it's kind of like 6 of one, half dozen of another. So I like both picks, but I think Deonte Banks would be... So I still think he'd be a good player for them. Branch and Winfield would be great. I agree, Cortrix, but Banks isn't that good, says Crater. Crater is not happy with the mock so far. Anyway, Seattle is up. All right, guys. Sorry, I'm trying to do like a good balance of reading the comments and do the mock as well. So Seattle's up. Personally, here's what I'm thinking for this pick. I want to know how you guys feel. I'm a huge Zay Flowers fan. I think he's better than the 33rd best player. Not by a lot, but I think he's a little better than 33rd. In terms of a big board, I had him above Jordan Addison. So Zay Flowers for me would be the pick here. However, I also would not mind Osiris Torrance. I also would not mind Steve Avila. And I think for Seattle here, and I'm gonna kind of talk before I look at the comments. I think you have to do everything you can to build around Geno, and to do what you can to make this as good of a team for Geno Smith as you possibly can. So whether that's Zay Flowers, to have a trio of him, Lockett, the remnants of Tyler Lockett before Lockett really starts to decline, and DK Metcalf, or just, get bigger on the interior. So, and kind of just go with an all-beef first round because we gave them Jalen Carter at number 5 overall. So now I'm going to take a look at the comments and see what you guys have to say here. Zay is a future Pro Bowler. Let's keep it going here, guys. Let's see. Banks went to the Bucks. Addison would be cool. Flowers to the Seahawks. I think Zay is perfect. Zay would fit perfectly. Zay to Seattle is my favorite to mock here. Same, Joey. I didn't see who you picked at 5. Oh, yeah, Cerberus. Sorry. That was bad kind of mock drafting on my part. Let's see here. Let's keep it rolling. No, I think I am going to go with Zay Flowers. I think that Zay Flowers is the selection for Seattle. And now we have Los Angeles up at pick 21. All right, so I don't know how to... Like, I'm trying to do something here. Hold on. Never mind. We're good. We're good. All right, let's go, guys. In every Chargers loss, opposing teams ran for 100-plus yards. Average run per carry was like 5.2. Oof. I mean, but Kalijah Kancey wouldn't necessarily help that because he's a smaller pass-rushing defensive tackle. Not to say that he wouldn't help it at all, but you kind of get the thought process there. RIP Zay not going to the Chargers. I'm with you on that, Laffy. Kincaid here. I do like Kincaid as well. I like Kincaid a lot. I don't know. Let me see. I'm trying to look at something while I'm doing this. All right, anyway. Go Brzee to the Chargers. Crater, I got to be honest. I am not a Bryan Brzee fan. At least not at 21. Not at 21. I hope everything works out with Bryan Brzee. If you guys are... I'm just going to get serious for a minute. There's just no kind of way to glance around this. Bryan Brzee last year had a very unfortunate personal situation, which is a complete understatement. I want to say his 15-year-old sister passed away due to brain cancer early in the year. So Bryan was obviously not himself. I mean, you can't focus on football when that type of thing is happening to you personally. I hope Bryan becomes a great NFL player. I do not want to take Bryan at pick 21, but the down year Bryan had in 2022 compared to 2021, there's a big reason for that, a big personal reason for that. But Dalton Kincaid is going to be a Charger, right? I did kind of quickly want to glance on Brzee on that. Yeah, let's keep it going here. Wide receiver to the Chargers. We went Kincaid. I've mocked Jalen Hyatt to him before, but I do think in that situation that Kincaid would outrank Jalen Hyatt on their horizontal board. Could I see Bijan dropping to 21? No, not at this point. I could not see there. Seth, Dalton Kincaid has remnants. So I'm assuming, Seth, you are a Chargers fan with the passion here. And passion in the comments. What I will say is Dalton Kincaid's pro comp, and it's a loose comp, but it's Travis Kelce. And as a Chargers fan, I really hate to kind of rub salt into the wound, but I think you know who Travis Kelce is. I think you've kind of had your fair share of dealing with Travis Kelce for the past couple years. So if you get that on your team, especially with Justin Herbert while he's on the rookie contract, I would love that for him. Ravens take Addison, right? He might. And Seth says, yes, he owns us. No, actually, I'll tell you, a pick that I like for the Ravens is Brian Branch. I like Brian Branch to the Ravens quite a bit. The Alabama pipeline. Brian Branch would fit right in. In terms of players that, fit a team, like, you look at that guy and you think he is insert a team name. Like, TJ Watt is a Steeler. Brian Branch is a Raven. It makes sense. I think Brian Branch he would come right in. Marlon Humphrey would take him under his wing. Obviously, they don't play the exact same position, but Marlon Humphrey would mentor him. I think Brian Branch fits right in Baltimore. Love the fit for Brian Branch to go to Baltimore. Let's see here. Brian Branch would be more than nickel corner, but Kincaid is good. Top 15 worthy. Dude, straighten up that jersey behind you. So I'll straighten it up off camera. I don't want to turn around and just, do one of those. But anyway, the Minnesota Vikings are on the clock. And guys, if the board plays out like this, I would be very surprised if Quentin Johnston's not the pick. I've been seeing a lot of Emmanuel Forbes comments, but I'd be very surprised if Quentin Johnston would not be the pick for the Vikings at 23. By the way, Cerberus, I do not know how to, acknowledge this, super chat. I appreciate it, but I don't know, it's still, on the screen, it's still there, so I don't know how to, kind of, monitor that. But anyway, let's keep it going here. Jonathan Mingo goes to the Giants. I don't know about a pick 25. I think we're actually going to go Jordan Addison to the Giants at pick 25. For the Jags, though, in this scenario, I would actually go O'Cyrus Torrence. You got to protect Trevor. Travis Etienne quietly finished top 5 in the NFL in rushing yards last year. It was either 5 or... I'm actually going to check that before. One sec, guys. One sec. I just want to confirm one thing. I thought it was top 5, but... he finished, the point was, is Travis Etienne had a very, very good year. So we are going to quickly confirm. Travis Etienne, hold on here, let's go to yards. Etienne finished 9th in the NFL in rushing. I thought it was top 5, it was 9th. But anyway, Travis Etienne had a solid second year in what was his first actual year playing because he missed all of his rookie year. So help Travis Etienne. Of course, they have a pretty good quarterback down there that they could also protect for. So if Brian Branch is not there for the Jags, which has been their darling of the entire draft process, I would go O'Cyrus Torrence for the Jags. Jordan Addison, Fieldhawk, you know the pick. Let's see how many times. I've seen 2 comments from Fieldhawk. I thought I was going to scroll up and see more. But that's all love, Fieldhawk, by the way. Jordan Addison would be a New York Giant in this scenario. Let's see here. Torrance has a rep for being lazy and is already built like a sloth at this young of an age. Come on, man. All right, Giants should run that card to the podium if Addison is there. I completely agree, and I do think Addison would be the pick. All right. Unintentionally, this fell perfectly for the Cowboys in terms of what we would do here. I like Jahmyr Gibbs on Dallas. There's a player that I actually like a little more. I'm actually wondering who the Chiefs would want to trade up for in this scenario. But, guys, in this scenario, we would just go Calijah Kancey. And think of it in a situation where Michael Mayer to the Cowboys, by the way, Fieldhawk, I like that pick as well. But think of it as we have Micah Parsons already on the defense. Calijah Kancey already he's a freak athletically. And think of all the one-on-ones that he's going to get. I mean, some of the moves that Kancey pulls off from a pass rushing standpoint from the defensive tackle is utterly insane. And if he's going to be guaranteed, or all but guaranteed, to get a one-on-one pretty much every single time because of a all-pro already on his team, you're going to have a hell of a pass rush there from Dallas. So I like that pick for them quite a bit. And somebody said Michael Mayer, and I would also like that pick. Dalton Schultz, of course, went to the Texans this offseason. So Michael Mayer that would not be a bad consolation prize. Let's keep it rolling here. Parsons plus Kancey would be nasty. Agree. I like Jahmyr Gibbs on Dallas. I do too. But we obviously went with Calijah. Okay, then Michael Mayer to the Bills. It's interesting. I would personally prefer... I mean, I got to be honest. There's part of me that wants to go DeJuan Jones just by default because of what happened to the Bills in the playoff game. The thing is obviously we watched that Bengals-Bills playoff game. The Bengals bullied them. And part of me is just like, you know what? Like, let's just... kind of, have an extreme overreaction. I mean, it would be a good overreaction, but let's take DeJuan Jones to shore up the offensive line basically so we don't get bullied like that again. Bills go O-line. Avila, I like that. I like that, by the way. I like Avila. Good call. Steve Avila is on the board. So there's 3 options here, and I want you guys, please comment any of these names. The choices are going to be DeJuan Jones, Michael Mayer, or Steve Avila. And please, guys, comment who you think the Bills should take here. Bills going O-line makes sense. Diggs report, yeah, I would imagine you're a Bills fan, so let me know what you think. Bills championship window closed is a spicy take. Miles Murphy says Gadiel. I don't know about that. They're going Jack Campbell. As much as I would love that, man. I love Jack Campbell. Jack Campbell is a player that's going to be overthought so much. Joey says, I'm sleeping on DeJuan. Personally, I like DeJuan quite a bit. I don't think I'm sleeping on him, but maybe the draft community is. I don't think I'm sleeping on DeJuan. I like him quite a bit. But Jack is a monster. I agree 100%. Don't let Van Ness fall to the Chiefs. He might, man. He might. Bills need a linebacker after Edmonds walked. Luke Kuechly has clued the Bills into everything they need. Guys, how do we feel about Jack Campbell then? Weird thought, Jahmyr Gibbs. I don't think it's a weird thought at all. I really don't. But how do we feel about not Jahmyr Gibbs? How do we feel about Jack Campbell, guys? I'm just going to comment that one. How do we feel about Jack Campbell? I personally love Jack Campbell. but I think he's going to be a player, and I'm actually going to tweet this tomorrow. I'm going to have a couple of guys. You know what? We're going to do it. We're going to do it. I'm going to tweet out a couple of guys that it's a perfect replacement for Tremaine Edmonds. So for whoever suggested the Campbell, I love that. But I'm going to tweet out tomorrow. I'm going to have like 5 or 6 guys that I think are going to be just guys that are going to be late 1 or beyond that I think have just a long NFL career and that I think are going to be high-level players for some time. Bills need linebacker. I would prefer Avia, but Campbell is a very interesting fit. All right, anyway, the Bengals are on the clock. So if Michael Mayer goes to the Bills, I really don't know where the Bengals would go in that situation. Unfortunately, we don't have to worry about that. For the Bengals here, the choice for me would be right here. It would be between Michael Mayer and it would be between Jahmyr Gibbs. And I would be fine with either. But I personally think Mayer is harder to come by at the tight end position. And I do not think Darnell Washington would be... I don't think he's going to be drafted over Michael Mayer. I know a lot of people have mocked it, myself included. I don't think he's going to be. But for the Bengals, when they would come back up at pick 60 or even in the 3rd round, you know, we're hopefully Charbonnet would fall for them at pick 60. And, you know, even in the 3rd round, I think it's somebody like Roschon Johnson. I think Michael Mayer, in terms of, you know, where he is as a tight end, is better than where Jahmyr Gibbs is as a running back. So I think Michael Mayer would be the pick there. Let's keep it going here. Mayer is safe. 100% Bengals go baby Gronk. All right, so I was looking at the camera while talking that out, and I was hoping the chat would agree. So glad to hear that. Mayer for the Bengals would make a lot of sense. Yep, that's all right. All right, guys, New Orleans Saints. This is one that I've had a little trouble with throughout the draft process, but I don't have trouble with this. It's just, who are we taking? Who do you guys want to go? I want to know what you guys think for the Saints. And of course, by the way, after this mock is over, we only have 3 picks left. We might do a couple team-specific mocks and kind of just talk through like we are now. So Saints probably go BPA. The Saints are not going Hendon Hooker. I don't know if that was serious. No, I don't think so. I don't think so, Fieldhawk, on this one. Murphy or Van Ness. Yeah, that's where I'm thinking here. It was either... I don't think they would go Will McDonald over Murphy or Van Ness. I think they'd go Miles over Lucas Van Ness. But Philly is back on the clock, and we gave them Bijan at pick 10. Bijan was pick 10, so Philly is back on the clock here. And here is where the Eagles take Lucas Van Ness. Who said that? I want to credit them. Where is it? COS TV. You said it perfectly. This is where the Eagles take Lucas Van Ness. Yeah, it's a great pick for him, and the board could not have played out better. I kind of hope that does not happen. Anyway, the Kansas City Chiefs are on the clock. I've mocked to them. Where is he? Where's my guy? This is a guy that's going to be in the tweet tomorrow. I got to find out. There he is. My guy, BJ Ojulari. I love BJ Ojulari, man. But first round pick, BJ Ojulari. I like that. I know how my team drafts. They make round 1 boring. I mean, hey, look. If you're an Eagles fan, then you know they've drafted pretty well over the past couple years. Aside from, maybe one pick they might have missed out on. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe they might have missed out on one pick. I mean, maybe. Who knows? Anyway, could you see DJ Turner ending up in the first? Absolutely. I 100% could. McDonald, yeah, by the way, we're going to go ahead and make Will McDonald a Kansas City Chief here. Will McDonald and George Karlaftis, that's a pretty nasty duo. And then, of course, they have a defensive tackle in the middle that you might have heard of, who's pretty good. You might have heard of him, Chris Jones. Yeah, you might have heard of him. So, this is how the first round went. This is the, I guess, my final mock draft. I'm probably going to go live again tomorrow afternoon for just a chat pre-draft like we are now. We're still not going anywhere, guys. Like, we're still going to do a couple teams mock drafts. We're still going to we're going to do another. I want to kind of let this sit on the screen for a minute though. Washington wants tackle 2. All right. Also, can the Chiefs not have any first round picks? They're such a well completed team. I would argue the Eagles don't need a first round pick over the Chiefs, but that's just me. Do I think the Seahawks could take a quarterback at 5? Absolutely, yes. 100%. Excuse me, 100%. And the reason for that is Pete Carroll's 71 years old. How many times, you just made the playoffs last year with Geno, and Geno played well. How many times are you going to be picking in the top 5 again in the Pete Carroll era? The plan is, of course, not many. So, yes, they could 100% take a quarterback at 5. All right, let's, by the way, comment any team that you would like to see me do for the mock draft simulation. I will not, just FYI, I'm not going to do the Lions. I did that on Patreon today. That was for the patrons. It was a kind of a team specific. So let me any team but the Lions will do a 7-round team specific mock draft. Do I think the Vikings trade up? I hope they do, man. I am all in on Anthony Richardson. So I hope they do, and you got to get your guy. I mean, I'm dipping. Good chat. Appreciate you being here, Evan. But if you want to compete, right? If you want to, not compete, sorry. Go for a Super Bowl. I see Bears, Ravens, Seahawks. Bears, maybe they have a lot of second-round picks. Yeah, we'll go with the Bears. Let's keep it going here. We'll go with the Bears. Not all, just Bears. All right, anyway, we'll go a little randomness, a little draft for needs, care for positional value. We'll go with more of the PFF board. Anyway, okay, I want these picks to kind of be slow at the beginning. Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and start the draft. But to answer the Vikings one, to go back to that, I'm not going to straight up. I'm just going to let this roll. No, but if you are trying to compete, right, and you want to... Oh, Skoronski, number 5. Oh. Anyway, if you want to, get to the Super Bowl, win a Super Bowl, which every team does, right, you have to have a quarterback. And Kirk Cousins, could he be that guy? I mean, yes. I mean, he could be, but we're going on year 6 of Kirk Cousins, and we have 1 playoff win in the first 5 years. And obviously, that's not fair to Kirk to just be like, oh, well, it's, everything is on Kirk, right? But at what point do you say, okay, I've seen enough of this we're going to move on, or we're going to start to look to move on, considering Kirk's going to be 35 years old. So, yeah, Bijan Robinson won at 6, by the way. I was kind of talking about the Vikings. I wasn't even paying attention. CJ Stroud is still here. So, all right, let's keep it rolling here. Bijan and Ramondre trade back. There's not really anyone worth the pick. Let's see here. Gadiel, this is what I do, brother. This is what I do. And that's why I kind of end every video with love you guys, because if it was not for you guys watching the channel, watching the videos, I wouldn't be able to do what I do. So like I said, when I say love you guys at the end, it's because I truly appreciate the support, beyond what a simple love you guys at the end of a video could say. So this is what I do. And I made the transition out of my previous job to this last year, and I could not be more grateful for the support. Anyway, we're going to look to trade here. We can still trade back, hopefully get Paris Johnson at pick 12. But we're just gonna straight up, we're gonna go, we want 33. It's not gonna be accepted. We're gonna offer it, and it was accepted. Okay, so let's go here. Can I do Steelers next? Yes, absolutely. Should the Vikings go wide receiver in round 1? It depends how the board plays out, but I wouldn't be opposed to it. All right. Oh, man. We're going to resume this draft. Okay, this worked out perfect for us. So nobody wants to trade up, and guess what? We're going to move this draft along a little bit, but we now have Paris Johnson, and we have pick 33. So instead of pick 32, which just went to the Steelers, we have pick 33. And guys, I would not be opposed. Bears fan here. Darnell Wright is a possibility. What's up, Joe? How we doing, man? I would not be opposed to the Bears drafting a receiver in the 2nd round, by the way. All right, so here's how the board plays out, or here's how it is playing out. And I got to be honest, guys. We took Paris Johnson at pick 11. I'm going to kind of see how this first round played out here, by the way. I do want to see if there's anything that's... Tyree Wilson at 19 is very, very spicy. Let's see here. You appreciate it, Gadiel. Appreciate it. Emmanuel Forbes at 23. Some of these picks are really, really spicy, man. Some of these picks are really... Where'd Jordan Addison go? Or is he still on the board? Okay, so where did Jordan Addison go? Because it's right in front of me and I missed it. Okay, so we went 27 to the Bills. Okay. All right. So, guys, the pick that I'm leaning here for the Bears is I'm leaning Jahmyr Gibbs. I want to know what you guys think, but I'm leaning Jahmyr Gibbs. So if we walk out of the first 33 picks with Paris Johnson and Jahmyr Gibbs, and we still have 2 second-round picks, and this 64 is a third-round pick because of the Dolphins, so everything has moved up a pick. But Paris Johnson and Jahmyr Gibbs, I'm gonna go ahead and do it, man. Like that's oh boy, that's tough. Like that's tough to defend. All right, we're back on the clock now, and I do want to. Who do you guys think here? We have Paris Johnson and we have Jahmyr Gibbs. Did the Eagles actually take 2 first-round receivers? I do want to go back to that. Did the Eagles actually... Hold on. They had Zay Flowers. And they took JSN. You got to be kidding me, man. That's good pool, by the way. Oh, jeez. All right. Who took Quentin Johnston? Where did Quentin Johnston end up going? The Rams. Okay. All right. We're back on the clock with the Chicago Bears. We have Paris Johnson. We have Jahmyr Gibbs. Do we go Luke Whippler? I mean, do we take 2 guys from the Ohio State offensive line? Joseph says Whippler. Jalen Hyatt over Gibbs. Poles loves his athletes, and Aid Adeboye fits. I like where you're thinking, by the way. Whoever said that. Where's that? I do want to give proper credit to that one.Cio said that. So, guys, the options here, I'm not going to take Tank Dell, guys. I'm not going to take Tank Dell. I'm sorry. I'm not going to take him. But the options are Aid Adeboye, Luke Whippler, Keon White's still on the board. Clark Phillips is still on the board. I think I'm just going to go with the local Aid Adeboye, and we're back on the clock here. And we can still take Luke Whippler. Guys, guys, we are killing this. Oh, we're doing good, guys. I'm thinking about taking Keanu Benton to kind of just go all out here on the D-line. Aid Adeboye. How do we feel about Keanu Benton? Julius Brents. Trey Hodges Tomlinson is on the board. Bears need defense help here. Corner or D-line. We have not taken a corner yet. So why don't we go get Julius Brents? Oh, man, guys. I love how this draft is coming along for the Chicago Bears. I really, really do. KJ Henry would be another guy to add to the team. I also like Riley Moss. I think it's a bit of an underrated prospect. I'm going to look at the trades here. I don't want to trade back. I like Benton too. Diane Henley, he would have been a good pick. I liked him. Parker Washington would be great. He's definitely on the board. I know the PFF has him pretty underrated. I like Jaden Reed quite a bit, guys. I like the way that he moves. I think he's really fluid. I think he's a really fluid athlete. I like him quite a bit. Let's keep it. What's the analysis? What actually comes up? Oh, never mind. That's first round. Anyway. Polls values ball skills might seem weird, but maybe DTR if there. I kind of like that. How many picks do we have left? Oh, we still have. Oh, jeez. All right. You know what? This is just the start of the 4th round, so I kind of want to take a swing here. I kind of want to take a swing. I kind of want to go Roschon Johnson and pair Jahmyr Gibbs with Roschon Johnson. That's where I want to go. Deuce Vaughn I don't think he's going to be a 4th round pick. I think he's going to be like 6th or 7th. I also like Diaby from Louisville and Byron Young for Alabama. Where are we thinking? Oh, wait, we got Gibbs. Yeah, Roschon. The thing is, like, if we go Roschon and Gibbs, like, it's going to be a pick your poison, and it's going to be like, okay, great, like, ugh. That running back room would be crowded. It would be. I'd go D-line because Khalil Herbert is decent. All right, so we'll take the best one, Kobe Turner. We'll take Kobe Turner. I know that's kind of like, but take the best one that's there. All right, now we're up. Sal from Eastern Michigan, I do like him quite a bit. I also like Marte Mapu quite a bit. If he would have been invited, he wasn't a combine invite, but if he's an underrated player, and that rank 125th versus the ADP of 185, somebody's going to get a steal with Marte Mapu. Somebody's going to get a steal with Marty. Only if Deuce was like 5 inches taller. That's what they say. Inches are a big deal. Let's keep it rolling here, though. Sorry. Ooh. I kind of want to take another corner, just for depth. But I'm also... For Chicago, Anthony Bradford is a... You know what? I know what I just said, but Anthony Bradford is a mauler in the run game. I mean, he's a mauler in the run game, guys. So there's a lot of players I like on the screen right now. I like Sal, Mapu, and Bradford. Who's available at receiver? You're right. Let's go take a look. Parker Washington. Let's go ahead and take Parker. Okay, so back-to-back Penn State picks, and we're back on the clock. So the choice here is between Marty Mapu, Sal, and Anthony Bradford. Do I think the Lions can win the NFC? Wild take. If they kill this draft, I wouldn't doubt it. I really wouldn't, man. I think they're gonna win a playoff game this year, which would be the second in their team's history. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and take Anthony. Yeah, we're gonna pull the trigger on Anthony Bradford. Mapu, they need. I'm sorry. Sunken. I saw that after I made the pick, and I'm sorry. And he just went to the Raiders. I'm sorry. Still think QB might be chosen. And guess what? Guess who's there? Dorian Thompson-Robinson. I like that, by the way. I did like that idea. All right, we're back on the clock. Wait, where are we at? 2:18. We're on the clock at 2:18. All right, this is very much take a stab and hope. Darrell and Shami flashed in 2021, so I wouldn't mind that. Ricky Stromberg, I'd really like that. You're going for, say you're taking a stab. Here's what this is. BJ Thompson. Right now, I'm going to go ahead and take, where is he? I'm going to take Ricky Stromberg and hope that BJ Thompson is available. I hope. Oh, I just went 2 picks before the. Are you kidding me, man? All right. Javarius Owens. I like him from Houston. He's a late round guy again. This is taking a stab at this point. So I do want to let the chat make the final pick here. So guys, what are we thinking? Here, guys? Do I draft a backup quarterback? Yes, we did take Dorian Thompson-Robinson. I also would, Mo Ibrahim in the late 7th round. I know he's an old prospect, but I wouldn't mind it. Somebody said kicker. Do you have a preference between Jake Moody, Chad Ryland? Do you guys have a preference here? Thoughts on Sean Tucker? I like him quite a bit. I actually like Sean Tucker a lot. Might as well take a swing on any considerably high-risk guys. All right, then we're going to go and take a... Oh, let me just go through this real quick. We're gonna take a swing on Mo Ibrahim because he's already like a 24-year-old prospect, and it's a 258th overall pick. Anyway, all right, here we go, guys. I want to see how we graded our draft. All right, yeah, that was we got an extra 2nd round pick. We still got the guy we wanted. Guys, this is. Like, I'm a Vikings fan, and if the Bears did this, I'd be like, holy shit, this is not going to be a fun team to play. They have so many top 150 picks that this team is going to be just so different. It's going to be so different this year in a good way. And, Anthony Bradford there could be 3 offensive line starters from this class alone. You're looking at Paris Johnson will start, obviously. Jahmyr Gibbs will start. Aid Adebawore will start. Luke Whippler will. You're talking 4 starters, minimum. And I know this team finished with the worst record in the NFL last year, but this class would be, ugh. Why doesn't it like the Gibbs pick? Yeah, I'm not sure either. Let's keep it rolling here, guys. Let's go with the mock draft. Where's the mock draft? There it is. Let's click in NFL for a minute. Somebody asked for the Steelers. So let's go ahead and do the Steelers real quick, guys. All right. We're gonna go slow through the first round. I did do the Lions today on the Patreon. It was a video. It was really fun. It was a good time. Recommend. The Patreon, of course, is linked in videos, but it's I recommend going to check it out. All right. Let's see here. I'm gonna let this go to about pick 8 here. We're gonna see. Oh, Paris Johnson went to the Lions. Are you kidding me? All right, well, we're going to offer it here. We're going to go ahead and offer pick 17 and pick 49. That has a 97% chance of being accepted. All right, well, then we're going to go ahead and offer. Okay, no, we're not going to get 75 back. How about 110? All right, we're on the clock, and we're going to go ahead and draft Peter Skoronski. We need to protect Kenny. And I'm just going to go turbo from here on out. We're just going to go turbo. Resume. I don't know why it's not going turbo speed, but Appreciate everyone being in here, by the way. I'm going to head out. Good to, yep, see you. Appreciate you being in here. Okay, I don't know why we're not going turbo. All right, we're probably not. I'm not going to do this for every pick. If this is like, we're not going to go through. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right, we're good. We're good. Did the Packers actually take Anthony Richardson? Oh my God, that's hilarious. Good catch. Good catch. Good catch, Fieldhawk. All right, I do want to take a look at. I always like taking a look at the first round. Vikings took Kincaid. That's interesting to say the least. What are some of the other interesting picks? Yeah, that's the Packers taking Anthony Richardson is comical. But I mean, like these are just stunning picks. Like Paris Johnson to be the NFC North with real stunning picks. Paris Johnson is crazy. Nolan Smith. I mean, it's not crazy. It's just like not what I would expect from them, I guess. Anthony Richardson and the Dalton Kincaid. So the NFC North is just like it's out there, man. Anyway, we're back on the clock. We already took Peter Skoronski. So you know what? I'm gonna go. Guys, this is to me. How far can we trade back? You know what? We're gonna see what we can get here. We're gonna see what we can get here. Okay, not accepted. That's fine. Okay, there we go. We love that. We love giving up a 7th round to move back 3 spots to pick up a 3rd round. Here we go. All right, this is a very, very Pittsburgh Steelers pick here, guys. Jack Campbell. So we have Peter Skoronski and we have Jack Campbell. And our next pick is a pick 79, which we just acquired from the Colts. Nolan Smith would be a pretty sizable reach at 9. It seems some teams are worried about Kincaid's back. I agree, Joe. That's what they are worried about. As a Giants fan, I'd be happy with Zay. The dude can flat out play. I agree 100%. All right. We're going corner here. There's no doubt about it. Trey Hodges-Tomlinson, best one on the board. Although I also like Chandler Zavala quite a bit for the interior offensive line to really protect Kenny. Oh, we have back-to-back picks. All right, let's just go Trey Tomlinson. And then let's go ahead and get Chandler Zavala. There we go. We got that figured out. Jack Campbell is super productive. Yeah, I love him. I love Jack Campbell. So we only have 3 picks left for the Steelers, but there's a lot to like with this class. Like with what we have going on here. Nick Herbig still being here in the 4th round is not something I was expecting going in. He's actually, like, his win rate is pretty crazy for an edge. Nick Herbig, as you can see, only 240 pounds, but where he can improve reps, or what he can improve with is reps, that makes a ton of sense. And I really think Nick Herbig would be the pick here, because Alex Highsmith, they're going to have to pay big time here soon. And if they don't want to pay Highsmith, Herbig could step in next year. So you're always kind of looking a year down the road. So I do like that pick for them quite a bit. So to recap the draft so far, we have Nick Herbig. We made a trade with the Colts to have back-to-back picks. So we have Trey Tomlinson and Chandler Zavala. That was the 3rd round pick. Our 2nd round pick was Jack Campbell. And then our 1st round pick, we traded up to go get Peter Skoronski. So pretty good class for the Steelers, all things considered. Now we're just kind of looking at depth pieces. And guys, Corey Trice, I mean, a pick 120, like you have to just, I mean, if a pick is handed to you like this, and the next pick's going to be in the 7th round. But if a Trice as well here just to shore up, yes, 100%. Good call, Trace. You know Trace. But if that's just staring you right in the face the way that is, I mean, you have to. Campbell's off the board by late 20s, says introducing Mr. Lucci. I've seen a lot of comments from you, by the way, introducing. So appreciate you being in here, man. I got another meeting, got to head out, but have a good one and get that frame. I got you. Do I think Deonte Banks could fall to 25? I do not. Sorry, I do not. Unfortunately, I don't. All right, and here we go. We're on the clock. Best player available. This is, like I said, you just take a stab here this late in the draft. Honestly, I think I'm going to go best corner available because you can never have too many corners, especially in that conference. And Mullen from Indiana is the pick. All right, here we go, guys. Much love. Yeah, appreciate it, man. All right, let's see what they gave us. Let's see what they gave us here. What did they give us? They gave us an A. All right, we'll take it. We'll take an A. And this would be the Steelers 2023 draft class. What do you guys think? Biggest surprise you think will happen tomorrow? I have no idea, man. I'm going to say that I don't think this is really that big of a surprise, but I think there's only going to be 4 quarterbacks taken in the first round. I don't think Hendon's going to be a first round pick. So maybe that's a spicy take, but I don't think, I do not think Hendon's going to be a first round pick. Sorry, I just have some tweet notifications on, just making sure nothing is happening, because if something happened, like if I got a Rappaport notification right now, it would, like, you know, that a big trade happened, I'd be like, whoa. And of course you guys would see the live reaction. But that's actually going to go ahead and ask a couple more questions, guys. I do want to, it is a draft chat as much as anything, so I do want to watch Levis be the second quarterback off the board. I hope not for the team that drafts him. But any questions, guys? Any questions you guys want to ask? Like, let's go. I mean, I might be live tomorrow before the actual draft. I'm not going to be live during the draft. I'm going to be hanging out with the fam, and I will have a immediate draft draft reaction after the first round. So I will probably start recording like while the draft is still going on. Probably start recording at like pick 30 and just kind of just go over it and have the final two, because it takes a little bit of time to upload and then, you know, that whole thing. So which division stands to improve the most this year via the draft? I feel like the AFC South has got to be the default answer, because the Texans are in the top 2, the Colts are in the top 4, and the Titans are in the top 11. So I would say the AFC South kind of just by default. Thoughts on Josh Downs? Like him quite a bit. I think he's going to be a player that's going to be in the NFL for a while. And, you know, I'm not going to sit here and say that I think anybody is just, you know, he's a flat-out bust. But I think Josh Downs is going to hang around. I think he's going to be a solid wide receiver 2 at minimum for some time. I like Josh Downs a lot. How would I react if the Seahawks take Bijan? I would be disappointed. I mean, that would presumably be at pick 20? I mean, I say disappointed initially, but it's like, it would be good, but it's also just, it would just be more like, why? Like why? That's what it would be. Do the Lions take Stroud if he's available? I don't think so. Let's see. First year of joining a dynasty league. Don't know much about college football. Any sleepers? Yeah, I like Jaden Reed from Michigan State. I think it's a guy. Do the Titans draft the 4th quarterback in the draft? No. I think if they're going to take one, it would be the 2nd or 3rd. Like, I think they would trade up. So I don't think there's any scenario the Titans take the 4th quarterback. I think if they're taking one, they are going to be 2nd or 3rd because they want their guy. That's not Bryce Young, of course. Cardinals must-do aside from draft Will Anderson. Honestly, I don't think Will Anderson's even on their must-dos. I think their must-do is the biggest thing, and this was in a video that I posted yesterday. If you want to go check it out, please do so. I would always appreciate that. I broke down every NFC team, but I think the biggest Cardinals must-do is get a 2024 first. I don't care how you do it. That's your goal. Like, the team needs talent, so that's your goal right there, is to acquire a first next year. So, but in the worst case scenario, if Will Anderson's there, then that's obviously not a bad pick. Team most likely to reach first round. I don't know about a team, but what I will say is it's gonna be somebody for a quarterback. I think that's gonna be the biggest reach. Although it could be a Cole Strange, who knows? But who knows? What about for 49ers, asks Duncan. It's just best player available. Just whoever that is at pick 99, because they have 3 first-round picks, it would be best player available. Do I think Will Levis possibly falls out of the first round? I don't. I think there's too much to like for Levis to fall out of the first round. I wouldn't say Levis, you know, he's not a can't-miss prospect, because he's not. But in terms of what the NFL values, they're not going to let him out of the first round. Arm strength, the traits that he has, he's not going to fall out. I mean, I think his game really resembles Carson Wentz in every way, good, bad, and ugly. How possible is a DeAndre Hopkins trade tomorrow in percentage? I would say 25% tomorrow, but I would say 50% Friday. So today's Wednesday. Yeah, that's how I would say that. Because the Cardinals at this point, like, they wanted a second. I don't think anybody's offered a second. Otherwise, the deal would have already been done. So they're not going to get a first for him. So I think it would very much be like, all right, we didn't get the receiver we wanted. Hey, Arizona, here's our second. Let us get DeAndre anyway. That's how I think that conversation would go. Mr. Lucci, appreciate the update. His phone went out of power, but he's back. We can continue now. I'm glad to know that. Do I think Quentin Johnston would be a good pick at 25 for the Giants? I do. You spent 106, or you not spent, but you gave Daniel Jones a $160 million contract. Invest around him. Don't give him Richie James, Isaiah Hodgins, and Darius Slayton. And I know that that's not going to be the receiving core this year, but that's the point. Don't give him those guys. Give him legit weapons. So Quentin Johnson, yes, I like it. Do I think Chiefs will take wide receiver or corner? I think there's actually a good chance they take edge, and it's going to depend on how the board plays out. What is gone by the time they're on the clock at pick 31. What do the Bills have to do in this draft to finally make the Super Bowl? Man. I did a video a couple months ago, and the title was, "It's time to have a discussion about the Buffalo Bills." And what the video talked about was, it's like, we're in a tough time with the Bills because it's like, all right, like we expected to take that next step, but we never did. I think they got to get another receiver, whether that's DeAndre Hopkins, whether that's whoever. They got to get another receiver, and they also have to beef up on the offensive line. So maybe offensive line first pick, maybe DeAndre Hopkins with their late second round pick. Maybe that's the way. What are my thoughts on Tanner McKee? He was ranked above Hendon at one point at PFF. So I got to be honest, I'm not a Tanner McKee fan. And just full transparency, if I say that I'm never a fan of a player, I welcome that player, proving me wrong, and I welcome that player, basically giving me like the proverbial middle finger to me, like, dude, like you were wrong about me. But Tanner McKee, I don't see the hype. I don't like Tanner McKee at all as a prospect. I wouldn't take him in the first 3 rounds. I think there's so much more value in any position in the first 3 rounds. Like we did the Steelers mock, for example. Obviously, they're not going to take him because they just took Kenny, but Chandler Zavala makes a lot more sense to me because you can have a starter for several years than taking a risk on who I think is Davis Mills a couple years later. So I'm not a fan of Tanner McKee at all. I'm really not. That's one prospect where I will actually just be like, I'm out on. I'm fully out on Tanner McKee. Do I think D-Hop will go to the Bills or Chiefs? If I had to say, I think I would, yes. I would say yes if I had to. If I had to say. Because I think it's going to be like, it's like a backyard game where like somebody's going to do something if you don't, if that makes sense. Basically like, like don't cross the line of sand or like you're going to type thing. I'm doing a poor job of like explaining it, but yes, I think he will be a Bill or a Chief. And I don't know why the trade hasn't been made yet. Obviously like the cap situation and everything, but DeAndre Hopkins and Travis Kelce on the same field at once, Stephon Diggs and DeAndre Hopkins on the same field. You're in that conference. You have to go all in to win a Super Bowl. The Chiefs know that. The Bills, I hope they realize that. I do want DeAndre to be. I do want DeAndre to be a Bill. Full transparency. I would really enjoy that. Who do I think will have the most disappointing draft this year? That's hard to say. Like entering, because it could change in 24 hours, right? So last year, if you would have asked me this before, and I'm just basing this solely off one pick, so don't kind of say like this is what I'm thinking, or I'm basing this off one pick only. Basically, the Cole Strange pick of the 2022 first round just threw everybody off, and everybody was like, "Oh, well, the Patriots, they suck. Like they're terrible draft, the whole thing." And Cole wasn't that bad of a player as a rookie, right? So I can't answer that right now. It's way too like broad of a question right now. It's going to constitute a lot of reaches, and supposedly there's going to be a lot of reaches tomorrow night, which I'm eager to see. So we'll see how that goes. My guy Zenith just entering the chat. How are we doing? Is it crazy to think the Vikings trade up into the top 10 to take Will Levis? Personally, I think yes. I think if they're going to trade up, I think it would be for Anthony Richardson. So I think that would be a little crazy, but that's just me. Somebody said thoughts on Mazi Smith. I like him a lot. I like Mazi a lot from Michigan. He's with context, of course, because there's a lot of guys that I like a lot, but it has to be like you have to know what you're getting. You have to know what you're signing up for, if that makes sense. So I don't expect him to come in and be just an absolute disruptor from day one, but in the right situation, he can be a good player, and he can be every bit worth an early second round pick. So I like him quite a bit. I think the Giants are going to get D-Hop, and I would welcome that for them if they did. That's the epitome of what I want them to do in order to help Daniel Jones' progression. So I would very, very much welcome them doing that. Christian Gonzalez or Devin Witherspoon. Personally, I'm going Devin Witherspoon. I like Devin quite a bit. In terms of a corner, in terms of playing, at the next level at the cornerback position, it's a lot of the time, as simple as this is going to sound, it's a lot of the time about the mentality. Because if you think about it from a broad perspective, right? It's, the NFL isn't taking guys that are, 5'11", 140 pounds that, are going up against DK Metcalf to guard him, where he can't bench press 225 pounds any times and DK can bench it like 30 times. It's not that big of a mismatch. Now, it can be, not quite that drastic, but you get the point. They're not like average Joes versus, athletic freaks and, muscle heads like DK Metcalf, right? So a lot of the time, it's just mentality, especially at the cornerback position. And Devin Witherspoon, from being a no-star recruit to, being a first-team All-American, he, as cliche as this is going to sound, Devin has that dog in him, and I'm not betting against that at all. So that's, I would very much, I'm betting on Devin Witherspoon more than I'm betting on Christian Gonzalez. And I still think Christian can be a good player, by the way. Should the Falcons mainly go defense in this draft? Short answer, yes. A bit of a longer answer. I kind of want to change the background of this real quick. Actually, we're just going to keep this. No, short answer, yes. Or longer answer, it's obviously going to depend how the board plays out for them. Hypothetically, if they're on the clock at pick, I want to say like 44 is when they have their second round pick. And the best defensive player available is ranked like 47th, and the best offensive player is ranked like, 30th or whatever, just somebody slides. That you don't want to have that type of that type of reach in terms of, the value where you are picking. But the Falcons, for the most part, yes, they should go defense. Who's my biggest threat to move up? You know what? Honestly, I'm going to say the Vikings. There's been a lot of chatter about that. It started as early as Sunday, and I really hope they do. Guys, I'm just going to say this. You guys know I'm a Vikings fan, but if they do move up, I will be so beyond ecstatic. It'll be like I'll be screaming tomorrow on the live reaction, like, let's go. Like, it'll be one of those. It'll be like, holy, I can't believe we did it. Vikings. I think the Vikings are. Let's keep it going here. What did Joe say here? I miss having Gruden drafting. He could really pick the worst players, which helps the other teams. Now, Gruden had some really, really shitty first round picks, man. It was awful. Fiona says, hey bud, what's up, man? How you doing? Let's see here. What do I think of Hyatt? First round wide receiver or just a speed guy? I hope works, or you hope works. I know what you meant by that. So with Jalen Hyatt, I personally like him quite a bit, and the quote unquote just a speed guy doesn't concern me that much. But you have to know what you're signing up for. When you draft Jalen Hyatt, you're not getting. A lot of people like to associate speed with, oh, great, we could have the next Tyreek Hill. And that's not the case, really, ever. Tyreek is such a one-of-one player, right? But the reason I like Jalen quite a bit is if we're in the world, we're in the year 2023, and you can't scheme open a guy, whether it's the touch passes, whether it's quick screens, whether it's deep balls like we saw him at Tennessee, what are we doing? I mean, you draft a player to put him in the best situation you can. So for Jalen Hyatt, I don't worry about, like the limitations of his game. I don't worry about the limitations, if that makes sense, right? So I like Jalen Hyatt quite a bit. He was actually my 5th ranked receiver when I did the receiver rankings earlier. I want to say it was earlier this month. So let's keep it going here. Hyatt, for some reason, has no lateral agility. Yeah, it is a little underwhelming for sure, but I still think he's a good prospect, and I think he's, like I said, the 5th best receiver in the draft to me, and his teammate Cedric Tillman's not far behind him, for anybody wondering. What's my top 5 wideouts for the 2022? Entering last year's draft, I had Wilson at 1, I had London at 2, I had Olave at 3. Am I missing some? I want to take a look at that. He said entering 2022. I don't know if he meant 2023, but I'm going to go back. Those were, yeah, I think I want to say that was the top 3. I know there was obviously the Ohio State guys. I am going to go back and take a look here, just make sure I'm not forgetting anybody here. So it went Wilson. Oh, Jamison was the other one. So sorry. It went mine went Wilson. It went London. Then it went JMO, and then it went Olave at 4, and then Treylon Burks at 5 is how mine went. And then I was surprised Jahan Dotson got selected above Treylon Burks. Is there any true number 1 receiver in this draft? I think Jackson Smith-Njigba is a low end wide receiver 1. Here's a good question by Liam. Love of the sleeper here, man. And the whole thing, I don't know if you guys have seen this with other content creators, with the SEC footage and everything. It's a whole thing. But thoughts on Henry To'oTo'o? I like Henry quite a bit. And there's another player I like on Alabama, or coming out of Alabama this year, in Byron Young. There's 2 Byron Youngs in this draft. But I like Henry To'oTo'o quite a bit. I think he's going to be just a solid starting middle linebacker for, hopefully for his sake, 8 to 9 years, but I think he'll be there for 5 or 6 years. I like To'oTo'o quite a bit. I wouldn't have a problem drafting him in the late 3rd round. I've seen, out of the 7th round mocks I've seen him like, mid to late 5th, early 6th, and I kind of question, like, why? Just as simple as that, why? That's a player that could start 5, 6, 7 years. Why is he being mocked that late? So that's one I just don't get. Excuse me, guys. Sorry. Who is my top tight end in this class? Overall, it is Michael Mayer. It is Michael Mayer and then Kincaid and then Darnell Washington. But, guys, I've been talking for 90 minutes straight. My voice is shot. I'm gassed, I gotta be honest. But I hope you guys enjoyed, because I really enjoyed talking with you guys. Zach did have he had a 10 raw athletic score. Is there any true thoughts on Aaron Rodgers to the Jets? I'll probably do a whole video on that. Do the Jets try and trade up for a tackle? I think they will, yes. Them and the Steelers are the biggest threats to trade up for a tackle. But, guys, that is going to wrap up Right Now's Live. Do take off. It's all awesome. Appreciate it. Yeah, I appreciate whenever people are like take the time off. But, guys, I might be back live tomorrow. Of course, I will have a video out after the draft tomorrow night, reacting to everything. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. Follow me on Twitter. The links are in a lot of videos. Fun live stream. Appreciate it. I really like seeing all the fun live stream comments, guys. Appreciate you guys being in here. Follow me on Twitter, guys. You will see my live reactions for a lot of the picks tomorrow night. Recommend. The link for that is in quite literally any video I post. The Patreon as well. We did a Lions exclusive mock draft today, and there's going to be some Patreon exclusive content all throughout the offseason. So, yeah, like I said, hopefully you guys enjoyed, but that's going to wrap it up. Love you guys.